I thank the gentleman. The gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Chabot.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a number of questions, Mr. Gordon. I'd like to read to you a few descriptions of what others have called this executive order and see if you agree with them or not. One example is that this order amounts to the White House brazenly directing the power of government against its political opponents. And it's an unabashedly partisan move. Would you agree with that representation?
Sir, I'm not going to feel comfortable coming up with a view on the various opinions that have been expressed, but I guess on that particular one I would tell you that no, I don't agree with it.
All right. Let me ask you about this one. The minority leader of the United States Senate said that this was the crassest political move he's ever seen. This is almost gangster politics to shut down people who oppose them, referring to the administration. I would assume that you probably don't agree with that statement?
You assume correctly, sir.
I thought so. Let me ask you this one. As designed to muzzle corporations and businesses, it would at the same time allow unions to continue spending at will. Isn't that accurate? Even though you may not agree with it, wouldn't that be accurate?
No, sir, I don't believe it's accurate.
All right, well, let me try another one then. This particular individual is also in the Senate, and this person is moderate and, in fact, actually voted for the McCain-Feingold campaign finance reform, which, a lot of Republicans did not vote for it. This person did. This person called this executive order Orwellian and also said that the order undermines decades of work by this person and others to ensure Federal business is free of corruption, of political influence, called it the equivalent of repealing the Hatch Act, and further said that it's taken decades to create a Federal contracting system based on best prices, best value, best quality, and that the effect of this order is to, again, have politics play a role in determining who gets contracts. Companies may choose not to bid, which will reduce competition and raise government costs. Now, I know you believe that this is going to help us relative to costs and make there be more transparency and more competition, but this person disagrees with that. I assume you would disagree with the statement that I just read there as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And let me conclude with this one. Supporters of the President, President Obama, are predicting that he's going to raise $1 billion this year for his campaign. Talk about campaign finance reform and the corruption of money and politics and all that. $1 billion this year for the first time if he attains that. And that simultaneously that he'd be positioned even more strongly if he could, in effect, by this executive order, dry up some at least and maybe a substantial amount of Republican donations. I would assume that you would disagree with that point of view?
I've spent many years, sir, working to improve and protect the integrity of the procurement system. I intend to continue doing that.
Okay. Let me just conclude because I've only got a minute left. Now I'll tell you what I think. I think that this is nothing more than blatant, raw politics. And I think in the 15 years that I've been here, I've not seen anything as outrageous and as much of an exercise of naked political power than this executive order. I think it's shameful. I think it's disgusting. I think it's despicable. I think it's outrageous. And this administration is talking about doing this by fiat, essentially. That's what an executive order is. Rather, if you're going to do something this dramatic, it ought to be done by the will of the people, by their elected representatives. That's the United States Congress. It's not by an executive order coming out of the White House. And I think the administration ought to be ashamed of what it's trying to do here.